everyone. Dandavat pranams to all of you.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी दंडवत प्रणाम।
Hare Krishna, Dandavat pranams Mataji. Hare Krishna, everyone. Welcome to this session. Thank you very much for joining and welcome all of you to the Bhakti Ladder Meetup. Okay, and first of all, I would like to thank all of you that you're all here. You could have been doing anything else, but you chose to be in this class right now. So first of all, I would like to thank all of you that you're here. Thank you. Hare Krishna. So we will be talking about an important topic today. The topic is going to be, what is the connection between the Upanishads and Bhagavad Gita? So the Upanishads are the very important texts of the Vedas. Okay, so we'll talk about all of that. All right. So thank you. Let us start with the prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitamena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So Hare Krishna. Welcome to all of you. Let us start with a brief context about what I'm going to talk today. So it's about the Vedas and the Upanishads and its connection with the Bhagavad Gita. Okay, so this is more or less a continuation of the previous class that we did on Upanishads. But I thought I will go a little slow and explain it more clearly so that everybody can understand nicely. Okay, so let's begin. So here is the context that we have a lot of scriptures. Okay, I will say this. Let's start with the scriptures, even before the Vedas. So there are many religious scriptures in the world. You can say Bible, Quran, and Vedas, like that. Many are there. Among all the scriptures, the best among all the scriptures is the Vedas. Okay, so the Vedas are the best. The reason is because the Vedas are apaurushaya. Apaurushaya means it is not written by a normal human being. It's not written by a human being at all. They're given by the Supreme Lord himself. Apaurushaya, not written by a common man, mundane man. That is the Veda, Shruti. And the Veda, the word is Veda is coming from the root word with. With means to know. For just like we have the word Vidwan. Vidwan means a person who is very knowledgeable. That's the root word. All that is to be known. Vidya. Yes, Vidya, Vidwan, Vidya, everything. Yes. Veda. All that is to be known. There is nothing else that is remaining to be known once you know this. See, the scientific knowledge that we have is ever expanding. It's not constant, it's dynamic. Every year, our knowledge about the material universe is increasing. And sometimes we are updating, sometimes we are rejecting the previous theories and creating new theories after the new theories. But all we are trying to do is we are just trying to discover this world. Okay, we are not trying to, we are not creating anything here. Okay, there's already this wonderful creation of this material universe, which is created by the Supreme Lord, which is so complex. And so many things are still mystery. So a lot of things are mystery for us. Nobody knows what happens after death. Nobody knows why we are suffering. Nobody can explain about luck, karma, all of these concepts. None of this has any kind of an explanation scientifically, but we have explanation in the Vedas. So where our material knowledge completes, that's where Vedas, that's where Vedas start speaking assertively about all the deep, esoteric, spiritual topics about the secrets of this universe, about the purpose of life, about God, about spirit soul, right? About birth, about death, everything. That's Veda. So Veda has 4 divisions. So each of these divisions is meant for one section or one ashrama, one section of the society. The Upanishads are considered to be the most philosophical parts, also called as the Vedanta, conclusion of this Vedic knowledge. Vedic knowledge itself is so vast and so deep, and the conclusion of the Vedic knowledge is called Vedanta. And these Upanishads contain the philosophy of the Vedanta. What's that Vedanta? Upanishad means to sit near. Near whom? Near the teacher, near the master. To sit near the spiritual master and to hear and understand. Learn them under the guidance of an acharya. Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam. Somebody who is tattvavit. Somebody who understands the absolute truth. We approach authority who is coming in the disciplic succession in the Guru Parampara. It's a chain. And we sit near the Acharya and then we hear this. There are 108 Upanishads. There's a huge list here. Ishopanishad, Kenopanishad, Katopanishad, Prashnopanishad, Mandukopanishad, Mandukya, Taitriyopanishad, Aitriyopanishad, Chandogyopanishad, Brihadaranyaka Brahmopanishad, Kaivalyopanishad, Javalopanishad, Shvetashvara Upanishad, Hamsopanishad, like that. So many. 108 Upanishads are there. Okay. So among them, 11 are principal ones. Important ones are 11. What are they? Isha, Kena, Kata, Prashna, Mundaka, Mandukya, Taitreya, Aitreya, Chandogya, Brihadaranyaka, Shvetashvatara. These are the important ones, prominent ones. Doesn't mean the other Upanishads are not. These are some Upanishads which are considered traditionally as containing a lot of philosophical knowledge. These are the principal ones, important ones among the 108 Upanishads. Wow, so much of literature, right? But we are very lucky because we have Bhagavad Gita. Vyasadeva, who is the literary incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, has mercifully written Mahabharata for the sake of less intelligent class of people. According to the Vedas, we are all less intelligent because the standards of intelligence is at some other level. So the Vedic scholars in the previous ages, they could recite and remember anything and everything. They are Shrutidhara. That means if they hear the shloka once, they will never forget it in their life. They can reproduce it any number of times. So it's a different level of intelligence. So people of Kali Yuga 2024, we need our mobile phone to remember phone numbers. Most of us, right? Not very easy to remember a lot of things. There may be some genius people here, but generally I'm saying. But lucky, Vyasadeva has mercifully written Mahabharata for us, and Mahabharata consists of this wonderful text called Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is part of Mahabharata. Bhagavad Gita is a song sung by Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna himself. And there's an important verse in Bhagavad Gita that says, Sarvopanishato Gavo Dokta Gopala Nandana. That means all the Upanishads. Let's just see that, okay? Let's see this. Now, I spoke about 108 Upanishads, right? And I spoke about 11 principal Upanishads. So, the shloka goes, it says that if all the Upanishads were to be a cow, Sarva Upanishado Gavo, all the Upanishads, if you consider to be a cow, the milk of this cow, right, is Bhagavad Gita. And who is the milkman? Lord Krishna. And then the calf is Arjuna. So we're very lucky because we don't have to struggle very hard to understand all of this. We have Bhagavad Gita. So Bhagavad Gita is the summary of everything. right? Summary of all the Upanishads, all the Upanishads. And there's a very interesting verse in Bhagavad Gita that goes like this. Bhagavad Gita 15.15. It says, Vedaischa sarvair aham eva vedyo. Krishna says, by all the Vedas, I am to be known. By all the Vedas, I am to be known. Vedaischa sarvair aham eva vedyo. So we don't have to struggle very hard to understand what is the secret of the Vedas, what is the subject of the Vedas. The subject of the Vedas is Krishna. And it goes on, this shloka says, Vedanta krit veda videva chaha. Vedanta krit. These Upanishads, the Vedanta. Vedanta, who is the creator of the Vedanta? Krishna. Vedanta krit. I am the creator of the Vedanta. Veda videva chaham. I am the knower of the Vedas. So Krishna is the subject of all the Vedas. Krishna is the object of all the Upanishads. The ultimate goal is Lord Krishna. But this is a very straightforward conclusion. How do we know that? How do we know that? The confusion arises when, see, sometimes what happens is, the more scholarly you become, common sense starts to fail. How many of you agree to that? Right? Sometimes we see that somebody is pretty intelligent, doing very well, but then PhD, right, is some kind of an LSD, right? So yeah, and then
Because my husband is a PhD from IIT Kharagpur. He's so abnormal thinking. Very difficult to live with him.
yes.
Very impractical. Very impractical. It's very difficult, but we have to manage. That's all.
Hare
Very
Krishna.
true. Hare
Yes,
Krishna.
Mataji. Thank you, Hare Krishna. Yes, Mataji. So what happens is when we become too scholarly, simple things become very complicated. Okay. So that's why, I mean, this scholarship, Vedic scholarship, Upanishads, the more these scholars read, they get more confused. They can't come to the straightforward conclusion. Okay. Krishna is saving us a lot of time. But still, all of this is there, and we should be very proud of our scriptures, because there's so much of knowledge is given here. And actually, the Srimad Bhagavatam is very nicely reconciling and explaining that whatever is there in the Upanishads, the purpose of all these Upanishads is to understand Krishna. We already said that in the previous quotation, but here we see a little bit more detail about it. That what is the purpose of all the Vedic literatures? This is a very beautiful verse. What is the purpose of all the Vedic literatures? On whom do they focus? Who is the object of all the speculation? Speculation is Vedic speculation. In the Vedas, there's a lot of speculative knowledge. It's like the scholarly people, they like it very much. It's like food for their brain. Okay. So it's object of all speculation. Who is it? That's the question. Outside of me, no one knows these things. Krishna is speaking this. Other than Krishna, nobody knows what is this Vedas all about. And now he's telling, now you should know that all these activities are aimed at ordaining and setting forth me, Krishna. All the activities of the Vedas, which are with respect to philosophical speculation and knowledge, all the Upanishads, Karma Kanda, Upasana Kanda, everything is just meant for understanding Krishna. Different ways of understanding Krishna. Indirectly, here it says, the purpose of the Vedic literature is to know me by different speculations, either by indirect understanding or by dictionary understanding. This is a very popular style of understanding. So when I say some sentence, for example, I speak one sentence, right? You can start dissecting it like sentence. go to the dictionary and see what is the meaning of sentence. And then I'll say next sentence, and then you will see what's the meaning of that word in the dictionary. It goes on and goes on and on and on. Okay. It's a literary exercise. But the purpose of all this mental gymnastics is that we should conclude. There must be some conclusion, isn't it? Everyone is speculating about me. So, for example, we all know this very famous statement, right? Brahma Satyam Jagat Mithya. Or we say everything is Maya. We hear this kind of words. So when we say this, what is the inner meaning of that is, the material world is made up of Maya. And Krishna is different from Maya. Maya belongs to Krishna, but Krishna is not under the purview of Maya. Krishna is not made up of these three gunas of the Maya. He's the controller of Maya. He is Brahman. The essence of all the Vedic literature is to distinguish me from Maya. That is the main point. We should not conclude that Krishna is under the control of Maya. No, he's not. By considering the illusory energy, one comes to the platform of understanding me. So the purpose of studying Maya is to differentiate between Krishna and Maya. This is the purpose. So then, in this way, one becomes free from speculation about the Vedas and comes to me as the conclusion. Thus, one is satisfied. Ultimately, the analytical person who doesn't want to agree straightforward things, sometimes we say straight, right? They don't like it. They want to research. They want to find out themselves. No problem. They're welcome to do it. But ultimately, they have to conclude in Krishna. If they don't conclude in Krishna, that means they have somewhere, they're lost. That's it. Simple. That's what Krishna is saying. Purpose of all the Vedas is Krishna. Focus of all the Vedas is Krishna. Purpose of all the Vedic literature, rituals is Krishna. Purpose of all the philosophy is to understand Krishna. Purpose of all the speculation is to understand Krishna. The final conclusion is Krishna. That's what this shloka means, right? Srimad Bhagavatam 11.2.42. Let's see the next verse. Here, this is a verse spoken by Yamadharmaraja, Yamaraj. Yamaraj, I tell you, is a very interesting personality. He is one of the 12 Mahajans. What are these 12 Mahajanas? There are 12 Mahajanas. They are knowledgeable in Krishna consciousness. Only 12 people know about Krishna. Nobody knows about Krishna. So among them, one of them is Yamaraj, Yamadharmaraj, Yamaraj or Yamadev, the Lord Yama, right? So what happens? So Yamadharmaraj is saying that, you see, all these scriptures which are compiled by various disciples of Vyasadeva, they have no clue about the real knowledge. They cannot understand what is transcendental knowledge. Their knowledge is limited. They are very busy doing ritualistic activities like fire sacrifices. And their purpose is only to go to the Svargaloka. And they are not attracted to Krishna's devotional service, Sankirtana movement. They are interested in Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. Chaturvida Purushartha. They are not interested in Krishna. Therefore, they cannot understand what is Krishna consciousness. And therefore, he's saying that all these religious scriptures, they do not understand the secret, confidential religious system of the 12 Mahajanas. We are very lucky because Krishna consciousness is directly, it delivers the secret. Okay, there's no beating around the bush. There's no waste of time, coming to straight to the point. The secret confidential system of Krishna consciousness is known by the 12 Mahajanas, and we are very lucky because one of the Mahajanas is Narada, and Narada is a spiritual master in our disciplic succession. Vyasadeva is also a disciplic succession spiritual master. Lord Brahma, he is also there. Brahma, Narada, and Vyasadeva. Three people are there who are Mahajanas who are there in our disciplic succession. And we are very, very lucky because, Srila Prabhupada simplified it for us and gave us this knowledge. Very beautiful verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, which goes like this. Vasudeva para veda, Vasudeva para makhaha, Vasudeva para yoga, Vasudeva para kriyaha, Vasudeva param jnanam, Vasudeva param tapaha, Vasudeva paro dharmo, Vasudeva para gatihi. Anybody wants to just read this out? Can you please unmute and read it?
Which I will read.
Yes, go ahead.
In the revealed scriptures, the ultimate object of knowledge is Sri Krishna, the personality of Godhead. The purpose of performing sacrifice is to please Him. Yoga is for realizing Him. All fruitive activities are ultimately rewarded by Him only. He is supreme knowledge, and all severe austerities are performed to know Him. Religion, Dharma is rendering loving service unto Him. He is the supreme goal of life. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. So simply put, it says the purpose, the topmost purpose of all the Vedas is Krishna. Vasudeva para Veda. And purpose of all the fire sacrifices and all the religious rituals is to realize Krishna. And the purpose of the yoga system, the meditation, pranayama, everything, the purpose is to understand Krishna. And purpose of all the religious activities is to realize Krishna. And the purpose of all the philosophical knowledge is to understand Krishna. And the purpose of all the austerities is to understand Krishna. And the purpose or the topmost religious principle is Krishna consciousness. And the topmost goal for any person is to go back to home, back to God. This is how important this is. Now that we know what the Bhagavad Gita speaks about, the confidential secret of the Vedas, we started with the Vedas and then we saw Bhagavad Gita, how it summarizes, and we saw Srimad Bhagavatam more detail. Now we are going to enter into the Upanishads. Now it's going to be very philosophical, very deeply philosophical. Let us see. So what will the Upanishads have? The Upanishads are summarized very nicely in the Srimad Bhagavatam, in the Bhagavad Gita. And they're basically 5 topics in the Bhagavad Gita. The 5 topics of Bhagavad Gita are, first topic is Ishvara or controller. That is Krishna. Next, Jiva or the living entity. And then Kala or time. Next is Karma. That is fruitive activities. Ishvara, Jiva, Kala, Karma, and Prakriti. Prakriti means material nature. This includes everything, Maya, everything. So Ishvara, Jiva, Kala, Karma, Prakriti. To understand about God, Krishna, who is Krishna, Supreme Controller. To understand about Jiva, who we are. To understand about time, Kala. To understand about Karma, the fruitive activities. Prakriti is material nature or Maya. So these are the 5 topics which are present in all the Upanishads. So we will see either one of them. So let us start with the Taittiriya Upanishad, what it says. Taittiriya Upanishad says that it is out of the fear of the Supreme Lord that the wind is blowing. So just like this, if you go to any office, right? People are coming to office on time. Why? Can you unmute and say, why do people come to office on time?
Fear of the management, CEO.
Yeah, fear of the management, right? There's somebody who is controlling. If you come late, then you may get some kind of a late reminder or something. Depends upon company to company. But generally, people are working because they are scared of the management, scared of the manager. Similarly, the natural activities that are happening around us, some simple activities like rising of the sun and setting of the sun also is conducted by the Supreme Lord. Because of the fear of the Supreme Lord, Krishna, that the sun rises on time, sun sets on time. Because of the fear of Krishna, that the monsoons come on time and go. It's because of the fear of Krishna that everything and anything happens in the material nature. That is the first point. It is out of the fear of the Supreme Brahman that the wind is blowing. It is out of the fear of him that the sun regularly rises and sets. And out of the fear of him, the fire acts. It is only due to the fear of him that the death and Indra, the king of heaven, performs their respective duties. And this Supreme Brahman, he is not formless or what do you say, tasteless or juiceless. He is full of rasa, juice. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is the reservoir of transcendental mellows. Right? Rasa, there's a nice word. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, don't eat gata rasam. Don't eat food which is dry. Right? Don't eat dry food. It's not good for health. Eat some juicy food. So juicy, right? Rasovaisaha. The Supreme Lord is full of transcendental mellows. He's not a dry, impersonal philosophy, right? This Krishna consciousness is not like, we are not saying there's no God, God is impersonal, everybody is God, right? No, this is all nonsense. Raso Vaisa, we say Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, right? We are doing the Brahma Samhita, right? We're saying how beautiful description of Lord Krishna has been given. Vedum Kwanantam Aravinda Dalayataksha Barhavatam Asitam Sundaranga. It's a beautiful peacock feathers, right? And a beautiful flute with him. And his eyes are like a lotus flowers. And he's looking very beautiful. That is Rasovaisaha. He's like full of mellows. What are these rasa? There are 5 primary rasas and 7 indirect rasas. And Veera rasa, Shanta, Dasya, Sakya, Vatsalya, Madhurya. You can see these rasas are present in the material world also. Okay. But originally in the spiritual world, they are very fulfilling. See, for example, Dasya Rasa is there here itself, right? So, for example, if I'm going to an office, I have my boss and I'm like a Das. So, whatever my boss says, I'm following. I'm saying, yes, sir, please tell me. But it's a transactional relationship. The moment he stops paying me salary, then I'll stop going to the office. And if they stop paying salary for a couple of months, the employee will start putting a case on them. This is not the real kind of a rasa. Dasya is like, the perfect exchange between a master and servant is exchange between the living entity and the Supreme Lord. So we are all servants of God. So when we try to serve God, Dasya. See, for example, in the Sri Vaishnava tradition, they are in the Dasya. They consider themselves as the servant. So therefore, a servant in the earlier days of the Vedic civilization, gents, they never used to wear a shirt. That means a servant should not wear a shirt, upper dress, gents, right? So Sri Vaishnavites, they consider that, Lord is our master and we are servant. How can I wear the Anga Vastra in front of Lord? Therefore, they do not wear. Dasya. See? Sakya means friendship, right? How Krishna is playing with all his friends in the Vrindavan, right? So what happened? I'll tell you something very interesting. So every day Krishna used to come and complain to Yashoda that I don't have gifts to give to my friends. Every day he's complaining the same thing. I don't have enough gifts to give to my friends. Then every day he's coming and crying and saying, my friends are also nice. I'm not able to give them very nicely. They're bringing me so many gifts. What are the gifts they're bringing? Yashoda is asking. They bring me so many, whatever laddus their mothers have prepared. They bring it, flowers. Sometimes some fellow picks up some ball. Whatever they find, they just bring it to Krishna. Krishna is saying, I am not able to give back to them. Then Yashoda is saying, why are you thinking like that? We are so rich. We're the richest people here in Vrindavan. We have 9 lakh cows. You tell me, what do we give? No, nothing is enough. I don't know. I'm not able to compensate my friends. I want to give them something. Then Balram came and he whispered something in the ears of Krishna. Krishna became very happy. Yes, this is the perfect gift. So then Krishna went and started running and he started hugging every one of his friends. Balram told Krishna that your friends are so nice and you cannot reciprocate with them anything. You can't give them anything. Okay. The only thing that you can give them is yourself. That's it. You cannot give anything else to them. And they'll be very happy to have you. So that's why he was going and hugging everybody. And he's become very happy. Yes, I found the nice gift for my friends. This is Sakya. See, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is also ready to become our friend. Right? That is Sakya Rasa. See, in each of the rasas, he is reciprocating. As a Dasya, if you want to be like Hanuman, welcome. Like Garuda, welcome. If you want to be like Sakya, Arjuna, or like the cowherd boys, friends, they are all playing with Krishna. See, sometimes, I'll tell you something. If you see any book, you don't cross over that book. Am I right? Even a small dog also, if it's standing, or a small cat is there, we don't cross over because we see that, oh, this is a cat and inside the cat there is Paramatma. Let me not cross over that cat or dog. But these children, they're jumping over Krishna. They're playing kabaddi, kho, everything. So how lucky they are, right? Sakya Rasa. Vatsalya Rasa is Yashoda is reciprocating with Krishna. Now how? We know Damodar Leela, Krishna, he broke the butter pots and then he is feeding the monkeys his butter. And Yashoda is happy and angry at the same time. She was happy because she saw that, oh, my son has become so intelligent, right? That he is doing so many things. And then she was angry because she thought, I must discipline my son, otherwise he'll be spoiled. Just see, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Parabrahman. And Yashoda wants to be a good parent and correct him. Therefore, she decided that she will punish him. She took the stick in her hands and started chasing him. Krishna is running. Right? And Krishna is running and Yashoda is chasing. And then Krishna is very scared. He's crying. She grabs him and then she tries to, bind him to the motor. That's what happened, right? Vatsalya Rasa. Krishna is ready to reciprocate if in the Vatsalya Rasa. As a parent, Madhurya, this is the topmost rasa. This is the topmost rasa. And we are very, very fortunate because, I tell you, we are coming from the Gaudiya Vaishnava Parampara, which is started by Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who has opened the secrets of Madhurya Rasa. So the ultimate goal is how we can serve Lord Krishna like the gopis. Gopi bharta pada kamalayo dasa dasanu dasa. Right? So how to achieve this Madhurya Rasa? It's a secret of the secret of the secrets. No Acharya knows this secret. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has revealed it to us. Madhurya Rasa, the topmost of the topmost of the topmost Rasa. Right? So this is Rasovai Saha. So who said that Lord is impersonal? This is a misinformation. It's misguidance. Upanishads are telling the opposite. Because of lack of bhakti, people are coming to a wrong conclusion. Let us see some more shlokas. Vedanta Sutra is considered to be the topmost knowledge of the Vedic literature. Does it say anything about God? Does it say anything about Krishna? Does it say anything about bhakti? Yes. It says devotional service is so potent that simply by engaging in the activities of devotional service, one becomes enlightened without a doubt. And he says Krishna or the Parabrahman is not situated in the dualities of this material world. Anandamayo bhyasat. Anandamayo bhyasat. Supreme Lord is full of bliss. The impersonal philosophers, when they write commentary on this Anandamayo bhyasat, they completely shake because they have no explanation for this. The Supreme Lord is full of bliss. The Supreme Brahman is not formless. It is full of Ananda. Krishna is full of Ananda. Right? So Anandamayo bhyasat. So by associating with Krishna, we can actually get pleasure. See Chandogya Upanishad. Bahusya. You know what Bahusya means? I'll explain you. See, why do we get married? See, initially there was one person. He gets married with great difficulty. He sets up a family and gets married. And then they have kids. And then the family expands. The kids grow up. And then they have grandchildren. And there's a huge family. So there is a happiness in a family. So Bahusyam means although I am one, I shall become many. Right? So Krishna also wants to be along with his family, with all the living entities. So he is expanding as the Paramatma. He is expanding as the various incarnations. The purpose is that he wants to enjoy. Anandamayo bhyasat. He is the original enjoyer and he wants to enjoy the universe. It's like how we have that tendency to enjoy by multiplying. Krishna wants to enjoy with the entire living entities. But the living entities are unfortunately not following what Krishna is saying. Just like government has got a system, very nice system, right? See, if you want to enjoy, yes, there is so much of possibilities in our different cities. There's so many places of recreation. You can go for the places of recreation and have a lot of fun. But as long as you are following the rules of the government, then you are welcome. The moment we start breaking the rules, let us say somebody wants to enjoy the New Year party, but he's intoxicated with alcohol and driving and caught by the police, then immediately the vehicle will be confiscated and the person will be made to appear in the court. And they may even cancel the license. And by chance, if this person goes and hits somebody and damages somebody, he is in jail. So that means all the possibilities of pleasure are curtailed as soon as we stop following the government. Simple policy, simple thing. As long as you're following the government, you are welcome. You can do whatever you want. The moment you break the rules, you are in the jail. At the moment we are in a jail. This is the material world. The reason why we are in this material world is 25% of the entire creation is because we have broken the rules of the material world, of the world. Krishna wants us to enjoy, right? But we don't want to follow what Krishna is saying. That is our problem. Therefore, we are here. Let us see this. It says, in the body of a living being, neither the power to speak, nor the power to see, nor the power to hear, nor the power to think is the prime factor. It is the life which is the center of all activities. Prana. Prana is the living force within the body. And this Atma is floating in this prana, right? Prana is like the it's a force. It's a vayu, prana vayu. That's called pancha prana. There are 5 pranas: prana, apana, vyana, udana, samana. 5 pranas. And it is this prana which is the center of all the activities, right? Not anything else. The moment this prana is gone, person is dead. Let's go to the next Upanishad, Katha Upanishad. This is a shloka which is repeated in Bhagavad Gita also. Bhagavad Gita also, this shloka is there, but it is slightly different. Najayate mriyate va kadachin nayam bhutva bhavitavyana bhuyah ajonityah shashvatoyam purano na hanyate hanyamane serire. That is Bhagavad Gita original shloka. This is Katha Upanishad. Looks similar, isn't it? Najayate mriyate va kadachin. That is kadachin. This is vipaschin. Nayam bhutva bhavitavyana bhuyah. Here it is Nayam kutaschin na bhabuva kaschin. Ajo nityaha shashvatoyam purano. Same line. Na hanyate hanyamane sharire. Same line. That means the soul, there is no birth or death. Soul does not come into being, and it will not come into being. That means it will never be born. The soul is not born. Okay, the soul is not born. Ajo nityaha shashvatoyam purano na hanyate hanyamane sharire. Okay, let us continue. So when the body dies, soul does not die. There is an information. Next shloka. Anoraniyan mahato mahiyan. That means both the super soul and the atomic soul are situated on the same tree of the body, within the same heart of the living being. One who has to become free from material desire as well as lamentation can understand the glories of the soul. That means there are 2, not 1. Paramatma, Jivatma, 2. They are situated on the same tree of the body. There is a tree which has many branches, and on one branch there are 2 birds. So bird number 1 is Jiva. Bird 2 is Paramatma. There are 2 birds on the same tree. And the Jiva, what is the Jiva doing? Eating the fruits. This bird is eating fruits. What is this bird doing? Witnessing. So Paramatma is witnessing when we are eating the fruits. As long as we continue to do this, eating the fruits without offering to Paramatma, offering to Krishna, we will continue to jump from one branch to another. That means material existence. That means this tree is material existence. If you want to break out of material existence, what you have to do? Instead of eating the fruit, offer the fruit to Krishna. Whatever we have, offer it to Krishna. Offer the fruits to Krishna. Simple process. And we can stop this process of birth, death, old age, disease. And it says, very nice sloka, this one. It says that the Supreme Lord is not attained by expert explanation, by vast scholarship. He is attained only to whom he chooses. Only to such a person he manifests his own form. That means to understand God, to understand Krishna, who must choose? God must choose. We cannot choose. We cannot understand God with our capacity. Is it not? Bhagavad Gita, did Arjuna understand it all by himself? What happened in Bhagavad Gita? Krishna decided to explain Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna. Therefore, Arjuna was selected by Krishna. By looking at Arjuna's wonderful qualities, that he is such a nice devotee, Krishna selected Arjuna. And then he gave the knowledge about himself. So this is the process. We have to surrender ourselves to God. And then if we do nice devotional service, then Krishna will give knowledge from within. If we surrender to the spiritual master and follow the instructions of the spiritual master very nicely, then Krishna, he will give knowledge from within. He says, to those people who are constantly remembering me, I give them the lamp of knowledge from within their heart and destroy their ignorance. And here the next verse is very nice. It says about, again, this is talking about the duality of Atma and Paramatma. Nityo nityanam chetanas chetananam eko bahunam yo vidadhati kaman. Very strong verse explaining about the difference between the super soul and the soul. They're two different. They're not one. Nityo nityanam. Yes, Nitya means eternal. Nitya means living entity. So did you get the meaning of your name, Nitya Mataji, today?
Yes, Prabhuji, yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Nitya means eternal, living entity. We are also Nitya, and Krishna is also Nitya. But Krishna is Nityo Nityanam. He is the eternal among all the different eternals. And Chetanas Chetananam. We are also having knowledge. God is also having knowledge. But He is supremely knowledgeable. And the difference is, He is the provider and we are the enjoyers. That means He is the benefactor. He is giving us. He is giving. He is the Bhuta Bhrit. That means He is the person who is providing food to everybody in the world. This is the living entity. Eternal, cognizant, infinitesimal. Qualities of living entity. Supreme Lord, eternal, cognizant, infinite. Difference is here. Infinite is small versus infinite. Supreme Lord is infinite. We are infinite small. Just like a spark of a fire. We are like that. Okay. And then who is providing food to all the fishes in the oceans? Who is providing food to all the elephants in Africa? It's not us. It's not us for sure. Okay. It's Krishna. He is the provider. And then this is a nice wake-up call from this Upanishad. It says, please wake up and try to understand the boon that you have in this human form of life. This path of spiritual realization is very difficult. It's sharp like a razor's edge. The point is we have to wake up. Right? It's a wake-up call. Uttishta jagrata prapya varanni bhotat. We have got a beautiful boon. We are got a life like a human being. We have to use it properly. Right? Use it for understanding all of this spiritual knowledge, right? And come to the correct conclusion. There is Mundaka Upanishad, which says the same thing, which this is a shloka which repeated in the previous Upanishad as well, that Krishna is obtained by only those people whom he chooses, not by any kind of scholarship. That's why Krishna is not accessible to scholars. Scholarship is not the process of understanding God. Devotion is the process of understanding God. Yasmin vijñāte sarvamevam vijñātam bhavati. If you understand the Supreme Lord, you can understand everything else. Right? Because He is the ultimate object of knowledge. If you understand God perfectly well, then there is nothing else that is remaining to be known by you. You become the knower of everything. By understanding Krishna, we are understanding everything. This is a shloka which is similar to the previous one which we discussed about the two birds. There are two birds on a tree, living entity Jiva, Ishvara, Krishna, Paramatma, bird one and bird two, eating the fruits, turning away from the bird two, jumping from one branch to another. Bird 2 is witnessing and waiting and following the bird 1. That is something very interesting. While we are discussing this on Zoom, Krishna in Golok Vrindavan will be celebrating. He'll be saying, he'll be calling all his friends and say, I'm going to give you a very big party today. You know why? There are some people today, they have joined this Zoom call and they are all discussing about me. I'm so happy that they're going to come back to me. And he is celebrating. Krishna is celebrating. Krishna is so happy. He's celebrating that we are all discussing about him. Right? He's waiting for us patiently. Right? But when will this fellow come to me? Like that, he's waiting. And he is more, what do you say? Waiting. He's in a much more enthusiastic mood than us. We are like, okay, we'll hear about Krishna. Krishna is like, when are you going to come back? I'm missing you. He's like that. So Krishna is always missing all the living entities. He doesn't want anybody to suffer. But unfortunately, we choose suffering. So therefore, he becomes sad. Because we don't follow him, what he's saying. So to understand these things properly, one must humbly approach with firewood in hand a spiritual master who's learned in the Vedas and firmly devoted to the absolute truth. So the spiritual things must be understood from the spiritual master who is learned in the Vedas and who is Brahmanishtam, who is completely fixed up in absolute truth. Otherwise, we cannot understand this spiritual truths. Yeah, this is done.
Hare
Yes,
Krishna, Prabhuji.
yes, Mataji, please tell.
Why we should be ready with firewood?
Firewood, because earlier days, no, they used to do fire sacrifices, right? So, yes. So earlier days, the yajna, right? Fire sacrifice is a very important Vedic ritual, isn't it? The daily morning ritual start with fire sacrifice, end with fire sacrifice, and continuously there's some other fire sacrifice that happens.
They never used to extinguish the fire in the house, no, Prabhuji?
Yes, yes. They never used to extinguish that. Fire used to be always going on. Correct.
Yes, and the same fire from the kitchen is taken to the pyre of the person whoever passes away, right?
Yeah, they take the same fire which they use it for the fire sacrifice every day. They use that fire for lighting the funeral also, like that. Something like
And
that.
in Kali Yuga, nothing. This is just big drama we do, I think.
Yeah, in Kali Yuga, they just do something and just act as if they're doing the same thing.
We take to the crematorium. That's it, no, Prabhuji?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah, thank you very much. Something very interesting in Kali Yuga is there's no fire that's required for fire sacrifices. All you need is Sankirtana Yajna. Right? This Sankirtana Yajna replaces the traditional fire sacrifices. So simply by chanting the names of Krishna, Mukunda, Govinda, Murari, right, by chanting the holy names of Krishna is a replacement for this fire sacrifices. So we don't need to take any wooden sticks with us. We can take kartal to do kirtan. Okay, Hare Krishna. So let us see the Shvetashvatara Upanishad. This is a description about the size of the soul. Soul is very small. When the soul leaves the body, you cannot observe it because it's like if you take the tip of the hair and divide it into 10,000 parts, that's the size of the soul. That's what this shloka says from Shvetashvatara Upanishad.
Hare
please.
Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, please.
It seems super soul is even smaller than the soul.
That's right. Because super soul is within the soul. Within the heart of that soul, which is so small, is the super soul. So unimaginably small.
Yes, Prabhuji.
That's why one of the shlokas
And this we realize in the third reading of Bhagavad Gita, I think.
Okay, yeah.
There's still not to realize, Prabhuji. It's so, every word is so important.
Yes. And it is something interesting. in the Vishnu Sahasranam also there is one word that comes that Krishna is the smallest and Krishna is the largest. Opposites. Both. As Super Soul is so small, is within that small living entity also. And as Mahavishnu, all the universes are coming from the skin pores of Mahavishnu. He's so big, gigantic. So smallest and the biggest at the same time. And this is a nice verse which speaks about the personal nature of God. Because a lot of times the Upanishads are interpreted in an impersonal way because they're indirect explanation about God. So it is like an abstraction of the original personality. Like we saw in the shloka from Srimad Bhagavatam, Krishna is saying Upanishads are indirectly praising me, not directly. They're not taking directly the name, but indirectly they're saying. So in that indirect abstraction, what happens is that the abstraction becomes more important than the reality. Just like I'm trying to point my finger to the moon to show you that that is the moon. Okay, this is the finger. That's the moon. You're supposed to be looking at the moon using the finger. But if there's somebody who is extraordinary genius, he'll stop looking at the moon and start looking at my finger. But that's not the conclusion. Conclusion is look there, look at the moon, right? So I'm explaining about something which is beyond this material nature, about a person who is not like us. He's a supreme person. He is Krishna. But then we are getting stuck with this description of indirect explanation so much that I forget Krishna. This is what has happened to the impersonalists. They're stuck with something instead of looking at the essence. Apanipado javano grahita. Supreme Lord has no material hands and no material feet. But he accepts whatever is offered to him. This is very interesting and moves very quickly. Here are two contradictory statements. Apani pado. Apani. Pani means hands. Pado means legs. No hands, no legs. Okay, so Krishna doesn't have hands and legs. No hands. Apani pado. No hands, no legs. Apani apado. Javano grahita. Javano means he is running very fast. He can run. And he can accept. Grahita, he can take. It's a beautiful pastime where one devotee had come and offered to Krishna, and the Lord extended his hand. It's happened really. Lord extended his hand and took the offering. From his hands, from Vaikuntha he took. So their hands are there, no? They're not like our hands. He has got hands everywhere. He has got legs everywhere, and his hands are different. They are transcendent. And his legs are different. His traveling is different. Again, he can go at the speed of mind, right? So the moment Gajendra prayed to Krishna that I am in trouble, that this crocodile is killing me, right? Immediately he came. So but where there are no legs, apani pado, javano grahita, he's accepting devotees' offerings, and he's coming very quickly to help Draupadi, to help Gajendra. That is the beauty. You have to understand in perspective. And then he is the greatest of everything. It's the greatest, huh? Natasya karyam karanam cha vidyate, natat samas cha adhikascha drishyate. Parasya sektir vividhaiva sruyate, swabhaviki jnana balakriyacha. Very nice shloka, because Prabhupada used to quote this a lot of times in his lectures. Let's see what it means. Natasya karyam karanam cha vidyate. Supreme Lord has got nothing to do. He has no work at all. Nobody can say, I don't have any work. Okay, everybody has got some work or the other. Okay, if we have to maintain our body, that's also a work, is it not? So nobody can say, I don't have any work to do, right? You have to do something or the other, right, for a living. But the Supreme Lord has got nothing to do. Natasya karyam karanam cha vidyate. He has got nothing to do. In the Golok Vrindavan, he is very happily enjoying. Krishna is not going to school. Krishna is not going to the office. Krishna is not going to any factories. Krishna is not doing any business. Nothing. He is just enjoying. He has got nothing to do. But still he does his duty. He comes regularly to our material world, this jail, to see our face, protect us from this material world. He keeps coming. He doesn't have to come actually. He's very happy in Golok. He's waiting for us to come there. But we are so stubborn that we make him come here. Actually, we are supposed to be going to his place, but we are making him come here again and again. Okay. So there's nobody who is equal to him or greater than him. Na tat samascha abhyadikascha drishyate. Nobody can equal the Supreme Lord. Asamordhva. Nobody is greater than or equal to Krishna. He is the topmost. Tam Ishwaranam Paramam Maheshwaram. That means, see, the definition of God is very interesting. Sometimes some people argue that why are you saying this? God is, everybody is God, everybody is God. Why are you differentiating that this God is greater and that God is less? Every God is same. See, the definition of God is the supreme person. If you have to stick to the purity of the definition of God itself, means supreme person, then you have to define that he is the supreme Purushottama. How can we say God is equal to, is same as everybody and still say he is God, is the supreme person? Then it is a logical controversy. How can you say that somebody who is equal to everybody or who is same as everybody is God? The meaning itself is God. God means greatest. Greatest person. That's why Prabhupada has coined the word Supreme Personality of Godhead. There's a shloka in Brahma Samhita, no? It says, Ishwaraha Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govindam Sarvakarana Karana. There, Brahma is saying, Ishwaraha Paramaha Krishna. Ishvara means controller. Parama means topmost. Krishna. Everybody is a controller, no doubt. You are a controller of your house. I am the controller of my house. But we both have a controller. That is the government, state government. The state government has a controller, national government. Material world has a controller. And that controllers, the demigods, have another controller. He is called Deva Deva, Devesha. Deva Deva means God of all the gods. Devesha means controller of all the Deva. He is Krishna. That is the meaning. So let us see what is this shloka. Shvetashvatara Upanishad. It says, Sahasra Sirisha Purusha Sahasraksha Sahasrapat Sabhumim Vishvato Vrutva Tatishtat Dashangulam. Lord Vishnu has thousands of heads, thousands of eyes, thousands of feet, entirely encompassing the whole universe. He still extends beyond it by 10 fingers breadth. He is in fact this entire universe. And he is all that was and all that will be. He is the Lord of immortality and of all that is nourished by food. Krishna has thousands of food. He has thousands of feet. He has got legs everywhere. He has got eyes everywhere. It's like a CCTV camera. You see? We cannot escape from eyes of God. You may switch off the lights, close the door, and think there's nobody watching. But Krishna is watching. Krishna's eyes are everywhere. His eyes are everywhere. His hands are everywhere. His feet is everywhere. There's nothing that he cannot see. And then, but then he's in the Paramatma form, Dashangulam, it is said. Dashangulam, 10 inches, it is said. Sometimes the Paramatma form is said like that. Next sloka. How to understand the Vedic knowledge? secret of Vedic knowledge. Very important shloka. Only those people who have faith in Krishna and who have faith in Guru, they can understand the Vedas. So there are two tracks on the spiritual express. Krishna Conscious Express is a train which is running on two parallel tracks. One is Guru, one is Krishna. Without one of them, the train derails. Yasya deve para bhaktir yatha deve tatha gurau tasyaite katitah yartah prakashante mahatmanaha. We should have faith in Guru and Krishna. Guru and Krishna. Guru and Krishna. Simple. That's the process. How to understand, how to attain Krishna? Guru and Krishna. By the mercy of Krishna, we get Guru. And by the mercy of the spiritual master, we get Krishna. Such a beautiful word. Think about it. By the mercy of Krishna, he externally manifests as the spiritual master to be able to see and receive the knowledge. He manifests as the spiritual master. And by the mercy of the spiritual master, if you follow the spiritual master's process, whatever he's telling strictly without deviation, then you can get Krishna. So both are interconnected. We cannot leave one of them. Both are necessary. So this is a shloka which is similar to the previous one which we discussed. The size of the Atma size. It's the same repetition shloka. This shloka Apanipado Javanagrahita is also a repetition. Natasya karyam karanam cha vidyate is also being discussed this. I think if we open the same thing. Sorry. Let's go to the next one. Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Asatoma sadgamaya tamasoma jyotirgamaya mrutyoma amritangamaya. This is a very famous shloka. What does that mean? Let me come from Asat to Sat. Asat is the material world. Material consciousness is Asat. Krishna consciousness is Sat. The moment we transfer our consciousness from material consciousness to Krishna consciousness, it is Asatoma Satgamaya. This is the meaning. Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya. This material world is full of darkness, full of ignorance, and it is full of death. From there, we have to come towards the knowledge. That is, Bhagavad Gita is like the rising of the sun. This knowledge is like rising of the sun. The sun dispels away the darkness. Similarly, this Krishna consciousness dispels away all the darkness which is there within our hearts. And we cannot be happy in darkness. Is there any person here who likes or enjoys darkness? I like to be in the dark. Nobody. You cannot enjoy in the darkness, right? You suffer in darkness. So we have to come to the light. Light is Krishna consciousness. Mrutyoma amritangamaya. Mrutyoma means repetition of birth and death. That is jatasya hi dhruvam mrityu dhruvam janma mritasya cha. Repetition of birth and death. That is mrityu. Amritangamaya. Amrita is liberation. Krishna says no in Bhagavad Gita, Janma karma chame divyam evam yoveti tattvataha tyatva deham punarjanma naiti mameti so Arjuna. Anybody who hears about the pastimes of Krishna, understands about the secret of Krishna, about his transcendental birth and activities, shall not take birth again. That is called Amritangamaya, means not dying. Amrita is not what you see. We see that the Devatas drank Amrita. They are living for extended years, but that's not real Amrita. The real Amrita is Bhagavad Gita. The real Amrita is Krishna consciousness, right? The more we think about Krishna, the more we meditate about Krishna, we become liberated. This is called Amritangamaya. This is Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Okay. And by the supreme order, under the superintendence of the supreme personality of God, the moon, sun, and other great planets are moving. So everything is moving under the energy of Krishna. Krishna is saying in 15th chapter, Gama Vishcha Bhutani. Gama Vishcha Bhutani. That means all these orbits are staying in their planets. The planets are staying in their orbits because of Krishna. Because of Krishna, they are the sun is is orbiting. Because of Krishna, the moon is orbiting. Right? All the planets are moving because of the supreme order of Krishna. Upanishad, very important verse. Ishavasya midam sarvam yatkincha jagatyam jagat. Everything in the universe is controlled and owned by the Lord. Isha. Ishvara Parama Krishna. Isha. Therefore, we should accept only things necessary for himself, which are set aside as his quota. We should not accept other things, knowing well whom they belong to. So, whatever Krishna gives to us, we should accept only whatever is supposed to be enjoyed by us and not become greedy and take something which is not belonging to us. Whatever is being offered to us, also we should offer it back to Krishna. Okay, because Krishna is the original owner of everything. Our property, our money, everything. Even our life, Krishna is the owner. Here there's a verse which says, "Oh my Lord, O omnipotent one, I offer my obeisances to you. Please lead me to the right path to reach you. Please free me from the reactions of my past sins." So it's a prayer to Lord that please show me the right path, how to reach you. The right path to reach Krishna is bhakti. Bhaktyamam abhijanati. Now we are coming to something very interesting. So far we discussed about all the Upanishads which are indirectly talking about Krishna. Now let us talk about some Upanishads which directly talk about Krishna. Starting with Narayana Upanishad. Very, very beautiful, powerful Upanishad. Ata Purusho ha vai Narayana akamayata prajasrijayeti. The Supreme Personality Narayana desired to create living entities. It is from Narayana that all the living entities have come. Very nice verse. Narayanat Brahma Jayate, Narayanat Prajapati Prajayate, Narayanat Indro Jayate, Narayanat Ashtau Vasavo Jayante, Narayanat Ekadasha Rudra Jayante, Narayanat Dvadashaditya Jayante. That means from Narayana, everybody has come. Let's see that. From Narayana, Lord Brahma is born. From Narayana, the Prajapati, right? Daksha Prajapati, right? Kardama Prajapati, they are all born from Narayana. From Narayana, Indra is born. From Narayana, the Ashtavasus are born. From the Narayana, 11 Rudras are born. Among the 11 Rudras, Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Rudranam Shankaras Chasmi. 11 Rudras are there. Among them, Shankara is Lord Shiva. Narayana Upanishad is saying, from Narayana, 11 Rudras are born. And Bhagavad Gita is saying, Krishna is saying, Rudranam Shankaras Chasmi. Among the 11 Rudras, I am Lord Shiva. So Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma are born from Narayana. So the source of the Trimurtis is Narayana. This is the Upanishad Vakya. Brahmanyo Devaki Putraha. This is very clear. Sometimes some people try to confuse the whole thing by saying Narayana is a common noun. It can mean anything. No, Narayana is a proper noun. Narayana, the meaning is who is in the waters, who is staying in the waters. Right? Narayana is a proper noun. First thing. Second thing, there's no possibility of misinterpreting this because it is said Devaki Putra. Brahmanyo Devaki Putra. Brahman, the Supreme Brahman is the son of Devaki. The son of Devaki, Krishna, is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. There is no question of misinterpretation. It is direct and straight. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of God. Let us see some more. How many of you want more? Type more in the chat. It's not over. So how many of you are interested in hearing more about Krishna? So in the Upanishads, now so far we spoke so much indirectly, but it's like directly about Krishna now. Type more in the chat. Maha Upanishad. Let us see something more powerful. Eko vai Narayana asin na Brahma neshano napo nagni somau neme dvav aprithvi na nakshatrani na suryaha. Maha Upanishad. In the beginning of the creation, there was only the Supreme Personality Narayana. And it doesn't stop there. It says there was no Brahma, no Shiva, no water, no fire, no moon, no heaven, and no earth, no stars, and no sun. It means even before the creation of the universe, there was only one personality, Narayana. Eko vai Narayana asin. It's a very famous word. Eko vai Narayana. We say, right? Eko vai Narayana. Eko vai Narayana asin. Only Narayana was there at that time. Na Brahma. No, Brahma was not there at that time. He was not born yet. Na Isha. No, Lord Shiva was not there. Na Apo. There was no water. Na Agni. There was no fire. Na Soma. There was no moon. Na Surya. There was no sun. Nothing was there. Do you know who saw this? Any guesses? Who witnessed this scene when nobody was there, only Lord was there? Who saw this?
Brahma?
Brahma.
Not Brahma. Brahma was not born then. There was one personality who had witnessed this scene. This sloka, whatever is saying, he has actually seen with his own eyes and recorded. Yes, this is true. I don't see anybody here.
Narayana?
No. I'll give you one hint. He's a rishi.
Narada?
No.
Bhrigu.
Starts with M.
Manu?
Rishi?
No. Markandeya Rishi. Markandeya Rishi, we know that he's a great devotee of Lord Shiva. But in Srimad Bhagavatam and many Puranas, Mahabharata also, it is given that he is a great devotee of Lord Vishnu also. And then one day, he worshipped Lord Vishnu and Lord Vishnu came in front of him. And he asked, what do you want? He said, I want to see that form when there is no creation. Can you show me that? When the entire annihilation of the universe happens, I want to see what happens. Then immediately, water started to rise. And the whole world became flooded. The whole world completely immersed into the water. And complete annihilation happened. And the entire, all the 14 worlds started winding up into the navel of Lord Mahavishnu. Everything came inside. Swargaloka, all the 14 loka, everything, entire material world is winding up completely into Mahavishnu's stomach. And Markandeya Rishi went inside and he was seeing only water everywhere. He was floating and he was swimming and was gasping for breath. He was not able to see anything because there's nothing there. At that point of time, he saw something. He saw a leaf. Right? Do you know who he saw on the leaf? He saw a small baby on the leaf.
Vatapatra.
Yeah, he saw a baby on the leaf. Right? Vatapatra Shai. Right? He saw that there was a small baby. And that baby was holding his feet and sucking the thumb of his feet. Do you know small infants, they can touch their feet and they can put it in their mouth. Right? Did you see that? So that happens. So it was Lord Krishna, Vatapatra Shai, on the flower. He saw at that point of time, it's got confirmed that Eko vai Narayana Asi. There is nobody, okay, other than Krishna in the beginning. And after that, in the beginning, that's why Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita, Aham Adischa Madhyam Cha. Anta evacha. I am the beginning, I am the end, I am the middle. So in the beginning, Krishna. In the end, Krishna. In the middle, Krishna. Only Krishna is there. Okay. So that is Maha Upanishad. Now let us see something more interesting. This is related to Krishna now. This is the Krishna directly talking about Krishna. Vasudeva Upanishad. Let us see what it says. It says, the Lord's transcendental form is the absolute truth, devoid of duality or beginning, middle, or end. It is self-effulgent, eternal, and full of knowledge and bliss. Only through devotional service can one understand that form to be infallible. So the Lord, this is Vasudeva Upanishad, means Krishna. Vasudeva means Krishna. This form of Krishna is without any beginning or ending. It is self-effulgent, eternal. Satchit Ananda Vigraha. Ananda Chinmaya Rasa Vigraha. This is full of knowledge, eternity, and bliss. Only through bhakti we can understand this form. Only by bhakti, Ananya Bhakti, we can understand Krishna. Otherwise, we cannot. Devaki Nandano Akhilam Anadyat. That means Devaki Nandana, the son of Devaki, fills the entire world with delightful bliss. Krishna fills the world with delightful bliss. Vasudeva Upanishad. How many of you want to hear something more interesting? Type more in the chat. Something very nice. Still better. Still better. Gopala Tapani Upanishad. Let's see what it says. Gopala Tapani Upanishad says, the first shloka of Gopala Tapani Upanishad says, Satchidananda Rupaya Krishnaya Klishtakarine Namo Vedanta Vedyaya Gurave Buddhi Sakshine. I offer my respectful obeisance unto Krishna, who has a transcendental form of bliss, eternity, and knowledge. I offer my respects to him because understanding him means understanding the Vedas. And he is therefore the supreme spiritual master. Who is the supreme spiritual master? Who is the Jagat Guru? Who is the original Jagat Guru? Krishna. We have forgotten him. Satchidananda Rupaya Krishna. Krishnaya Klishtakarine Namo Vedanta Vedyaya Gurave Buddhi Sakshine. The purpose of all the Vedanta is to understand Krishna. It is not for any kind of speculation. Krishna vai paramam daivatam. Means Krishna is the supreme personality of God. Devatas, there are many, 33 crores. But Parama Devata, topmost Godhead is Krishna. Eko Vashi Sarvagah Krishna Idyaha. That one Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead and he is worshipable. Let's see the next sloka. Krishna is one, but he is manifested in unlimited forms and expanded incarnations. Krishna is one, but his avatars are unlimited. Unlimited, it is said in Bhagavatam, just like rivulets, just like waves of an ocean. Unlimited waves, unlimited avatara, Krishna. Unlimitedly he manifests. Every yuga he is manifesting in various incarnations. Gunavatara, the Trimurtis are the incarnations of Krishna. Purushavataras, the three Purushavatas, Garbhodakashayi, Kshirodakashayi, and Karanodakashayi are his incarnations. Manvantara Avatara, Manu Avatara, all the Manus are his avatara. Dashavatara, so many avatars, Shakti Avesh Avatara, millions of avatars, right? Unlimited. It was Krishna who in the beginning instructed Brahma in Vedic knowledge and who disseminated the Vedic knowledge in the past. So who initiated Brahma? The first living being of the universe? Krishna. How did he initiate? With the help of Gayatri Mantra. And how did that Gayatri Mantra come? From where it has come out? Do you know? How did the Gayatri Mantra come out? From which instrument it came out? From Krishna's
Venu.
Venu, flute. Krishna's flute is so great that from that flute, Gayatri Mantra came and the entire Vedic knowledge came, right? And Brahma got initiated, Lord Brahma got initiated. Bhakti means devotional service to the Lord, which is free from desire for material profit, either in this life or in the next. Devoid of such inclinations, one should fully absorb the mind in the Supreme. That is the purpose of Naishkarmya. This is bhakti. Bhakti means completely free from any desire for material profit. We should not expect that I will enjoy. We should always think, let Krishna enjoy. Right? Just like Vrindavana, Yashoda is always thinking, how can I make Krishna enjoy? This should be the mindset. How can I make Krishna enjoy? We should not expect any profit. This is called bhakti, fully absorbing the mind in the Supreme. Right? And then we have come to the final one, very important. Kali Santarana Upanishad. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Iti Shodashakam Namnam, Kali Kalmashanashanam, Natapparataropayaha, Sarva Vedeshu Drishyate. Lord Brahma is saying this. These 16 words, Mahamantra, Hare Krishna, Rama, are especially meant for counteracting the contamination of Kali. To save oneself from the contamination of Kali, there is no alternative but the chanting of this Mahamantra, even after searching through all the Vedas. This is the conclusion, dear devotees. Conclusion of all the Vedas is Vedanta. Conclusion of all the Vedanta we have seen, it has come to this shloka. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This is the conclusion of the Vedanta. Iti Shodashakam Namnam Kali Kalmashanashanam Nata Paratarobhaya Sarva Vedeshu Drishyate. It means Lord Brahma is saying, see, in the Kali Yuga, there is nothing better than this. Nataha parataro apayaha. Parataro upaya. Upaya means better idea. To save ourselves, there is no better process. Sarva Vedeshu Drishyate. Lord Brahma is saying, I have read the Vedas completely. Lord Brahma has read the Vedas 3 times from back to back, cover to cover, and completely, finally, he's come to the conclusion that said, this is it. This is the final one. Right? So, we are so lucky. How many of you agree that we are so lucky? Type lucky in the chat. And if you feel that you are so lucky, right? We are so lucky that, Prabhupada has done such a wonderful service for us. Right? Should be so much filled with so much of gratitude for Prabhupada. Right? So we don't have the strength or knowledge or power to go through all the Vedas like Lord Brahma and come to a conclusion, right? But then the Acharyas have given the conclusion. It's like, they open the banana peel and they're giving that banana and putting it in our mouth. It's so simplified process. This is it. There's nothing to be doubting anything, or there is nothing better than this. Nata parataropaya sarva vedeshu drishyate. There is nothing better than this in the entire Vedas. The Hare Krishna Mahamantra. The names of congregational chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra is the best. It is a remedy for everything. Right? It will completely extinguish the fire of the material existence. Right? It can liberate us. Right? So we have to take advantage of this mantra. Hare Krishna Mahamantra. This is a holy Kartik month, Kartik Damodar month. It's not different from Krishna. So in this month, we have to hear about Krishna, to chant the names of Krishna. It's like how Prabhupada says, right? Always chant Hare Krishna, right? He says, if somebody says, I'm chanting 16 rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, Prabhupada, then what will Prabhupada say? Why not 64? Right? Why not 1600 rounds? Right? So always think about Krishna. Right? This is the simplest process, the final conclusion of all the Vedas and the Vedanta. Right? So Hare Krishna. Thank you, devotees, for joining. Anybody has any questions or you want to add your realizations, please unmute yourself and tell your realizations, please.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji,
Hare
has Prabhupada authored Ramayana or Mahabharata?
Not really. No, he has not written Ramayana.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Okay, welcome. Hare Krishna. Yes, What are your realizations? Valarmati Mataji, Hare Krishna. Naresh Prabhu is also there.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah, please share your thoughts, your realizations.
It's about we are in the jail. Okay, so even as a person who are convicted and went to jail, they also will have this some they can do some parikaram in the jail, something like they be good and then they start to realize their mistake, and then they can get out from their sentence earlier.
That's
It's
right.
considered like liberation also, rather than being jail. It's same like that is the concept, basic concept here. So you realize the God, and then you chant every day, and then you understand Him, understand the rules and regulations, understand the God, and then you will be liberated from here.
That's right.
So that is my understanding for today.
Hare Krishna. Thank you for sharing, Prabhu. Interesting. Grishma Mataji, Hare Krishna. What is your realization for today? Indra Haridas Mataji, Hare Krishna. You can share your
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
thoughts. Yes, Hare Krishna Mataji.
If you understand Supreme Lord, you can understand everything else.
Yes, wonderful. Yasmin Vijnate Sarvamevam Vijnatam Bhavantu. Very nice. Understanding Krishna, we can understand everything. That's nice. Okay, thank you. Hare Krishna. Renuka Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Grishma
Hare
here.
Yes,
Sorry,
yes, Grishma.
I was not able to unmute earlier.
No problem.
Yeah, my realization was, the one main thing I understood was from all the Upanishad, how Bhagavad Gita is, I had earlier just listened about it. I mean, I just had heard earlier that from all the Upanishads, finally, if you read Bhagavad Gita, there is no need to read all the other Upanishads, that you're covering everything else. It was very good to see it in a very nice diagrammatic format, that these are 108 Upanishads, these are 11 principal Upanishads. From there, Bhagavad Gita, if they are the cow, the milk is the Bhagavad Gita, and Krishna is the milkman, and Arjuna is the calf. So that entire analogy was very good to understand it properly.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you for sharing your realizations. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Swayam Prabha Mataji. You want to add something?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Totally very informative about Markandeya Sannyas, Rishi, and about this size of this Atma, that is soul. I remember in one of the lectures I had heard in Canto 2, Bhagavatam, I think second chapter or eighth chapter, they have given the measurement in inches.
Yeah. I think the
So
10
I
inches.
would like to.
I think it's about the 10 inches. It is said that Paramatma, the size of Paramatma is 10 inches and within the heart. How is it possible that 10 inches is smaller than 10,000, 1/10,000 of tip of the hair? Even I'm not sure how that works. Okay.
And the other one is also about the soul. I think measurement is given 8 or 6, and I have forgotten. I had made a note. I don't know where. Anyway, when I read,
you can get that note and we will discuss that. Okay.
We will see that. Okay.
Sure.
One of the devotees had told in the lecture. So
okay.
I don't know where I have misplaced. But overall, it was a good, informative and thought-provoking. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Yes, Kalyani Mataji, what are your realizations?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, I like the way you took us from indirect way of, knowing the God to directly the Upanishads which have described him directly. And then ultimately deducing into a kind of a formula for us. So I like the course and the journey that you took us through. I'll definitely listen it to it again and again and meditate and kind of internalize this, Prabhuji, and I have to learn a lot.
Sure. Thank you very
Thank you
much.
so much.
Hare Krishna.
It
Okay.
was enlightening, Prabhuji. This is like, Asatoma, you took us from darkness, that journey from darkness to light was I experienced in this class, and I want to experience it over and over again. Thank you so much. Ever grateful to you, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you much. Thank you. Renuka Mataji, you want to say something?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare
It
Krishna.
is Hare Krishna. It is very difficult to remember all the Upanishads what you explained. Maybe we have to listen again and again, I feel. And one thing is final is cause of all causes is Krishna. And Hare Krishna Mahamantra is the remedy for everything. That is really nice, Prabhuji. Very nice. We just chant Hare Krishna mantra, all the problems will be solved. That is really nice. Yeah. Thank you.
That's
Thank
right.
you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. All right. And who's pending here? Ganga Prabhu, Hare Krishna. You want to say something?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare
Today's
Krishna.
this one completely very much enlightening, and Krishna is in all, completely. If you completely Krishna understanding Krishna means everything it is there. So that as ultimately Mata says, only now Hare Krishna Mahamantra is the remedy for all these things. So thank you, Mataji, for today's class. Very nice.
Thank you very much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Thank you for attentively hearing. Gauri Mataji, want to say something? Hare Krishna to you. Okay.
Yeah, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Gauri.
Yeah, this class was very nice, and I would like to hear more and more about Lord Krishna. This is little difficult for me to understand because I need to understand again and again.
Yes.
That's okay. It was nice class.
Thank you much. Hare Krishna. So very nice point. But yes, it's all about hearing, okay? Shravanam. That's the most important point. Shravanam is hearing, right? Shravanam. Actually, the word Shri refers to Lakshmi Devi. She's called Lakshmi because she does Shravanam. Lakshmi hears. Another meaning of Shri is Lakshmi makes the Lord hear. Whatever we are saying, Lakshmi makes Lord hear what we are saying. So hearing is very important, right? So we are praying to Radharani that we become nice devotees, that she recommends us to Krishna. Okay. So Hare Krishna. Thank you, devotees. Thank you very much for joining. We'll meet you again on coming Wednesday for Bhagavad Gita class. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.